guys, welcome to Troll and Toad's Facebook Pack Cracker. I am Larry.
And I'm Mark.
And we are the Mercs for Money.
We are the Mercs for Money, and we're in the jungle right now.
We are in the jungle
we are,
of Ixalan.
Of Ixalan. You know, we took a train, then hopped on a plane.
And then we took a boat.
Then we took a boat,
and
which
a car.
is weird.
Yeah, and then, somehow we ended up in, the Jurassic era?
The Jurassic? I don't know, man. It's like...
It's
the land
pirates
of the
and
lost
dinosaurs,
kinda, yeah.
so it's kind of hard to say. But anyways, guys, we are here to open up something really sweet. Like, one of my favorite draft sets of all time, Eternal Masters. Now,
we sold some of these the other night.
Yeah,
These are actually very interesting packs.
Yeah, you get good stuff in this. Like, if you, Death Right Shamans, Force of Wills, stuff like that. Gambles. Man, we're ready for that kind of stuff. I don't know about you, Mark, but stuff like that's going to be... We're looking for that foil Force of Will. Like, how much they use?
I'm always looking for a foil Force of Will, my man.
The retail on that's, couple $100. So we're looking for that for sure. But guys, we'll go ahead and get it ready to crack and get it open. See if we can find some good stuff. And, some of the uncommons are good in this too. So
yeah, let's check them out, man.
We'll show them those too if we can find some good ones. Oh, man. And one of the commons in here, we're not going to show off, but it's Carrion Feeder. It's one of my favorite commons because it's a good sack. We got Rancor. It's one of my favorite uncommons of all time. Now, Rancor, I used to play this card back in Standard, back in Legacy Pauper, like all these other formats that are really good. And, it's a solid one-drop green enchantment. You get +2/+0 and Trample, and whenever it's put into your grave from the battlefield, return it to your hand. So, you put it on a 3-power creature, make it a 5/3 with Trample.
Yeah, then your spirit, that's pretty early game right there, man. That's
put on a Slippery Boggle that already has, ethereal armor, and, so you have a trampling first strike, big dude that just killing people in modern, especially modern Slippery Boggle decks. So that's really cool. And our rare is a Gamble. Gamble is a really sweet card. For 1 red sorcery, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, discard a card at random, then shuffle your library. So that's really strong. You can find your combo win condition, and you can take the Gamble to win the game. That's the pun intended, because you discard at random, so, you never know. You might discard the card you searched for, but if you didn't, your opponent's wondering what you got. So that's really, one of my favorite cards. And we're foil in this pack is a Dismal Backwater, which is, a dual land from originally Khan's block. But, it's a good pauper land. Enters battlefield tapped. When enters the battlefield, you gain a life. It produces blue and black.
Let's see if I can give him a spin move right there.
Yeah, show how pretty that foil is.
That's a good looking foil.
I love those lands.
I love dual lands, man. The artwork is always because the plains and the mountains and everything always looks so good. But then when you see a dual land, it's just wow. That's imaginative.
Both elements from both colors, and they look really vibrant.
They use so much imagination and so much. I guess it really varies between artist to artist too. How it looks. It's really.
That's one of the reasons I love Magic, man. Is art.
It really is.
Lore, complex gameplay. One of the reasons I love this game. So we'll go on to the next pack, guys. Oh yeah, this takes me back to good times. All right, so we have a Young Pyromancer. We have 3 good on. Oh man, we got a good pack. This whole pack's good. We're going to show off all these cards. We have Young Pyromancer. Well, this is a legacy staple, guys. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, put a 1/1 elemental green creature, red elemental creature token onto the battlefield. So this card's really strong. You can make a really big force of dudes real fast.
Yeah, and it's also really cheap. Look at that.
Oh yeah, 2 mana, 2/1. So it's already solid on the curve and everything. We have Wall of Omens, which is one of the best, 2 drops in white that, has probably been printed. It's Defender 04. When it enters battlefield, you draw a card. Simple. Makes it hard for aggressive decks to get through. Just a solid card. You can blink it, to get an extra card advantage, for those type of effects.
I love the flavor text on that, by the way.
I
search for a vision of Zendikar that does not include the Eldrazi.
Yeah, everybody's not, looking to run into Eldrazi.
Yeah, the Eldrazi is such a hated force in Magic. It's so powerful, and a lot of people, if they had the power, I'll abuse it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a strong set of creatures. And Hydroblast. This card's classic, one of the best counter spells of all time, depending on your format. Counter target red spell or destroy target permanent if it's red. So, that Young Pyromancer, you just kill it right off the spot for 1 mana at instant speed.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
and that's pretty
really
that's
strong.
What I love about this is a lot of these real powerful cards, you can get them out pretty early in the game.
Yeah, and our Mythic, we have a Natural Order. Now, this card's busted. This card is absolutely busted. For 4 mana, as the additional cost natural order, sacrifice a green creature. Search your library for a green creature card and put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. So you use this card to get out cards like Primeval Titan and Craterhoof Behemoth, just like to run your opponent into the dirt. This card is really, really strong. And it's actually one of, a decently expensive card in this set, so.
Me and you, we always seem to get good. We always seem to have a really good pull rate on these pack crackers, don't we?
Oh yeah,
like we get lucky, man. Yeah.
Oh man, that one Ixalan booster box we had was insane.
Oh, it was
that live sale
bananas.
we did, which you can look up in our archives. The last Magic live sale that we had, like you should watch the Ixalan box. It was really, really good. So we'll go on to the last pack here. All right, looks like we got some decent cards. We got Necrotal, one of my favorite creatures in Magic. That's because I'm a black player. Necrotal. 2/1 for 4. First strike. When Necrotal enters the battlefield, destroy target non-black, non-artifact creature. That creature can't be regenerated. It's just,
ouch.
It's a 2-for-1, man. You get a 2/1 body with first strike and you kill a non-black, non-artifact creature. Like, it's just one of the most solid, creatures.
You're right. That is that's a tide turner, is what it is.
Oh yeah.
Like then that's four turns. Pretty. It's still pretty early in the game.
Yeah, it's decently early. Like, it's a really good commander card. Like, as commander, cube, anything like that, this card's definitely a solid include, like if you're playing the color. And our other uncommon that's really sweet, we have an Animate Dead. Animate Dead's a classic reanimation spell. Now, it has a wall of text, but essentially it,
It does, doesn't it? Look at
that. I'll cut the, short of it. It's essentially you reanimate a creature from your graveyard. If Animate Dead would leave the field, that creature goes back to the graveyard. The creature would leave the field, you get rid of Animate Dead. Like, it's simply like, that kind of a thing. It's just, but it's, and it, enters the battlefield, it gets -1/-0. But say you got an Emrakul, and you put it, somehow get it in your yard, somehow, but it whenever it would be. But you get the new Emrakul from Eldritch Moon,
yeah.
The 13/13. You could play Animate Dead and get a, a 12/13 with Flying Trample. So, I mean, it's still pretty strong.
Yeah, that's ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
A 12/13 with flying and trample. So basically, it's just going to wipe out everything.
Yeah, like it's still.
Even though you had to use Animate Dead and it's a -1, who cares?
Yeah, like -1's no big deal when you're actually reviving stuff that doesn't matter, like Gristlebrand or like any of those other big flying like get you dead cards.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so hard to get a card that's like, let's say 9 or above on the battlefield in the first place, but let's say you do and somehow it gets killed and you bring it back. Come on.
It's cards like this that can break Magic if your opponent's not prepared for it. So that was our other uncommon, and we have another mythic, which is really sweet. We have Balance. Balance is a classic card that goes all the way back to the early days of Magic. This card could actually wreck your opponent if you're behind, per se. So each player chooses a number of lands he or she controls equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest. Then sacrifices the rest. Player discards cards and sacrifices creature the same way. So say you have 2 lands on the battlefield. Your opponent has 5. And your opponent has 5 cards in hands. They have to sacrifice lands till they have 2 lands in hands, and this card till they have 2 cards in hand.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what we call balance in Magic.
Yeah, that's like a really unbalanced tactic to make everything else bad, but I love it. No, yeah, I love stuff like that.
It's really strong, man. Like, it's been strong for as far as back as you can remember. And, like, in Commander, this thing could absolutely wreck a pod.
Well, you all know me. I love it when a game allows you at certain points to just be completely OP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So say, like, I'll give you an instance, like, people might know what I'm talking about. In Commander, you play land tax. You can get the, lands to your hand. Then next turn, you play balance, and then just, like, wreck the whole field. Like, you're going to be getting lands to your hand from land tax. So I've seen this happen many, many times. But, guys, that was our 3 packs of Eternal Masters. And I could rabble on about Magic all day because it's so much fun.
I know you could, but it's all right. Unfortunately, we don't have the time for it because it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but guys, we are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we will see you guys next time.